the more that you can show to them that you're a company that's leveraging this business, vaccination to become stronger, means that when you come, as you are going through this, let alone coming out of it, they're going to want to deal with you, okay? Until right now, this very moment, contractors have always been on their own, not as tradespeople, but being alone and knowing how to take their business to the next level. They call us working class, they call us blue collar. They say that we don't have the smarts to become the business owner that we're meant to be. That is such bullshit. You have the ability. You're more than any of that. The question really is, where do you get the insights that you need specific to contracting to systemize your business so you can get your profits to pay for your freedom? I'm Andrew Houston. I'm going to show you how to make more profits, how to get more control, how to get more freedom in the simplest, quickest way possible without any of that bullshit. Welcome to the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. Listen up, level up, and if you learn something, like the video, subscribe to the channel, change your business, change your life. All right, guys, listen, you definitely don't want to miss this podcast here. We're going to be talking about the 5 game-changing secrets, honestly, that you better find out before this pandemic is up. Anyways, welcome to the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. I am super stoked about this one. It's going to be right to the point. It's going to be insights that I got to tell you. These insights can't just even one of them can be a game changer for your business if you truly leverage any one of these 5. I might have a little bonus one, maybe 6, but I might even have 7. I don't know. Let's see. But these 5 that I'm about to share with you have been game changers for our clients, and I got to be straight up. Okay. Not like what I'm about to be saying. What I'm about to be saying. I'm about to tell you guys on this podcast about this pandemic. You might not like hearing it. My tongue is twisted. What is going on? I need to get the tongue untwisted. So here's the thing. I really think that this pandemic is going to be a point in time that either A, you're going to reflect on and say, it was a game changer for my business. It forced me to do things and look at things that I had never looked at before. And these 5 things I'm going to cover off with you, every single contractor, every single owner listening in, I'm telling you right now, if you don't know these 5, and secondly, if you don't apply these 5 before your competition finds out about them, it could be the death of you, okay? Or it could be, a lifelong torture and struggle in your contracting business. So here's the thing. I was just on a podcast with 2 amazing people, Doug and Rebecca, a drywall company, and they've only been with us for about 4 months. And something really, it really hit a nerve with me, which was they said on the podcast, like they actually, as I was interviewing them, they said, this pandemic forced us to change our beliefs. And I was like, yeah, wow. And we went into some of those beliefs and some of the areas that, they've had impact with some of the tactics and strategies and tools that we provide. But then after the podcast, I thought about it for a bit and I was like, man, I gotta talk about these areas. I gotta share with you guys these areas of opportunity, or they're going to be areas of opportunity for your competition. And hand in hand with each of these 5, and I struggled as to what to call this podcast because there's so much gold that I'm going to share with you, these tactics are just as much, even more about your mindset and your beliefs and your past beliefs, as much as the value of actually doing the tactic and leveraging the opportunity, okay? So let's get into each of these things, and I want to make sure that as I touch on them, I'm hoping that I'm going to be breaking through some limiting beliefs. I'm hoping that you're going to at least take action in one of these areas. And, again, if you want to get some more help on how to lay out the game plan to execute on these things, to make these things happen, you want to get some more support on them, definitely join our contractor tips group. If you're part of the Champion CEO group, make sure that you're posting inside the Champion CEO group which of these areas most resonates with you, and we'll definitely have, set up a one-to-one coaching session, with one of the coaches to help you through with that. So let's get into this, okay? So one of the things that I think we always struggle with is our belief around landing A players, okay? Now, some of these, I'm not gonna really put them in a priority as I go through these 5. It's up to you to prioritize them. I'll spend a little bit of time in helping you guys, in doing that, or at least taking a moment to make sure that you do put some priority to them. But there's no priority on my end. And the reason being is that everybody's situation is a little bit different. And each one of these might resonate more or less with you, all right? So let's get into them. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna use some visual aid here. If you're not able to watch this on YouTube or via video, is that my mojo here? That's totally cool. You can just follow me along and you can write this stuff out, okay? Or you can, as you're driving the truck, listen in on this and then pull over at some point, or when you get to the shop or to the site or what have you, you get home, you can, go back, write these things down, and then determine which ones you guys are gonna focus in on, okay? But any one of these are game changers. So let's talk about the one that I've got listed here in order. Let me just share my screen. Get the old iPad going for you. All right, so here's the good old iPad. So I almost look at this in the center as, let's call it, it's almost like getting vaccinated, It's like the vaccination, how do I put it? It's like when you go to, I just got swabbed for the COVID, but some people are, now that we got this vaccine out there, not everybody's got it so far, but let's just talk about like getting your business vaccinated, right? So let's call it the business vaccination. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that is that if you don't take this as an opportunity to vaccinate your business, to leverage this time as an opportunity, then only the opposite is going to happen, right? You're going to keep on struggling. Things are going to get worse. Hopefully they don't get disastrous. I don't want any of this to happen to you guys, but it's the reality of the situation, okay, as I go through each of these. So this is the business vaccination. That's what I should have probably called this podcast. And I really do hope that this pandemic lasts long enough to change some of these beliefs, okay? So let's get into them. So the first one that I'm going to talk about right now, again, no priority, I'm just going through them. The first one I want to talk about is A players. Okay. All right. Either you're going to be gaining A players, you're either going to gain them, or you're going to be at a chance of losing them. Okay. And I want you to be gaining them. So the reality of the situation is this. There are going to be a shitload of businesses, already a ton of businesses. It's the highest bankruptcy rate from some of the stats that I've been reading since, I think, the Great Depression, okay? There's more unemployment of people. Depends on where you are in the world, but there's still an incredibly high level of bankruptcies and an incredibly high level of people that are not working, okay? Now, all different types of industries. At the end of the day, though, okay, you think about going back prior to this COVID situation, right? I heard it all the time, and I still think it's bullshit, okay? We're going to deal with the present, but in the past, right? I can't find any A players. There's no A players out there. I put out an ad and I don't get any applicants. Okay, I'm going to put this to rest right now, okay? Whether you believe me then, you got to believe me now. There are more A players right now that are looking for work. That could be that they're not working, not because, see, going back in the days where things were so fucking busy, okay? We could use the excuse to say that, hey man, I'm not gonna hire anybody that's not working right now because it's so busy that they should be working, right? In other words, if they're not working, it's probably due to the fact that they're a D player, they're a deadbeat, they're not a really good employee that I'd want to have, right? Hence why nobody else is hiring them. Today's world has changed, okay? Now, I don't believe that was the case, okay? But today's world has definitely changed in the sense that there are more and more A players out there that are not working right now, not because they're not good, not because they're not, dependable, they're not accountable. It's just the mere fact that there's a lot of businesses that have not been able to survive this epidemic, right? Like loss in sales. They're not able to work because of the type of work that they do. Say it's certain large projects that have to be shut down, right? And so there are so many A players out there, guys, that you have got to leverage this. This is where you got to relook at your roster, okay? And we've got a whole hiring process. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to say you need to identify these opportunities and you need to go after them. Like I said, if you want to get help on them, raise your hand, join the Contractors group, or if you're in the Champion CEO group, raise your hand, and we got the full game plans and the tools and the insights for each one of these things. But at the end of the day, you've got to realize that this is the best time to upgrade your roster, okay? This is the best time to, first of all, and I'm going to give you some micro steps for each one of these. I'm not going to give you the whole plan, but just some micro steps. You've got to identify who are the people that you want to keep and who are the people that you want to get rid of, right? There's no better time than now to identify your roster, okay? And to upgrade your roster, okay? You really want to upgrade it because like I said, there's so many people out there that are qualified people. Now, even if we look at the people that are still working, right? Tradespeople that are still working, admin people, but let's focus, it's a lot easier. At least we found it's a lot easier to get admin people. It's a lot easier to get office people. Not that they're not just as valuable as the people in the field, but finding skilled tradespeople, it tends to be a challenge for trades businesses, okay, for lots of reasons. But you've got to leverage this now, guys. Identify your roster. Who are the people you want to keep on your bench? Who are the people you want to get off your bench? And who are the new players that you want to indoctrinate into your company, okay? So A players is a major focus right now. If your competition, I'm going to probably reiterate this at each one of these things, if your competition gets wind of this, if they're listening to this podcast and they really think about putting a plan in place, or they engage with us and we put a plan in place to crush this out, they're going to come out of this. They're going to be able to benefit from this right away with new A players, and they're going to be able to upgrade their team and in turn upgrade their amount of profits and efficiencies and all the rest of that, okay? So you've got to focus in on leveraging this time for A players, okay? If you don't get the vaccination to fucking see this today, I'm sorry, man, but guess what? When it's over, right? The doors are going to open, let's face it. I'll reiterate some of this at the end, but just face it. When this thing is over, everybody's vaccinated, and it is going to be over at some point in time. Maybe it's in 6 months, maybe it's 9 months, maybe it's a year. I hope not. It could be less, okay? But the reality is that the floodgates are going to open. There's a whole backlog of work that has to get done. And then what situation are you going to be in? You're not going to have leverage getting these A players, okay? So let's get into the next one. The next one is landing. Go figure, right? I thought I'd put this one in the hopper next, is landing more A player, A grade clients. That's right, A grade clients. This is a time where there are clients out there that are not getting the service that they need. There are clients out there that whose let's call it contractors, that are working for them, are not providing the level of safety and security that are needed. And there's a great opportunity for you to land Class A clients, right? And I'm not talking about being dirty. I'm not talking about even being dirty about, robbing A players or A grade clients from your competition. But these A grade players and A grade clients are looking for the service that they need. They're looking for the safety that they need. And if you're not putting in front of your clients, okay, those services, at the level that they need, well, then guess what? There's going to be a whole ton of clients that you're going to lose, A-grade clients, and they're going to have to find somebody. And more than likely, that's going to be your competition. Or we can flip this around, right? The reality is that if there's already been a form of chaos, which 90% of businesses, unless they're getting some sort of help, 90% of contractors are in some form of chaos. They were in some form of chaos in the past. They're in even a worse state of chaos right now. Either they don't have enough work, they don't know how to, upgrade, optimize, or even create the systems to handle this COVID situation. They don't know how to adapt to a new type of clientele, which is totally hand in hand with A-grade clients, which is like, are you expanding your portfolio such that the products that you're offering and services are essential, right? If you listen to that past podcast with Doug and Roxanne, you'll hear that within 4 months, one of the many things they did was they expanded their services to offer up service-based contracts and service-based type of work, which were essential. And that has allowed them to increase their profits, increase their portfolio, land A-grade clients, upgrade the current clients they have by offering this new service. Guys, so you got to think out of the box here, and really this is such a great opportunity for you to get A-grade clients where your competition is not able to service them. They're not able to give them the support and service that they need. And I'm going to emphasize that in the next one as to some of the reasons for that. One of the reasons for this, that your competition, or it might be even you, are losing A-grade clients or not able to retain them or get them, is because you have not been able to adapt and really be able to leverage technology. Okay, if you're still old school and you're not willing to expand on technology, you've heard this even before this COVID situation, you're going to be left behind. Okay, you're going to be left in the dark. So one of the things that's happening is it is now more acceptable than ever to leverage technology. And what do I mean by technology? We've got our clients doing virtual sales. That means they're on a Zoom. They're sharing their presentation. They're able to get multiple people from multiple different departments on the same Zoom from multiple locations, okay? They're able to present in a way with technology that gives confidence to the A-grade prospect or A-grade clients. They're able to present their quote. They're able to go over it just like I'm sharing my screen, right? They're able to do the exact same thing, right, on their end. Like, think about what I'm doing right now, right? I'm sharing my screen, right? You're able to see me. You're listening in, and if you are watching the video, you'll see that I'm going through a model. I'm drawing this thing out, and if somebody else was to do the exact same thing, exact same topic, there is no way in hell that they'd be able to deliver the level of value and interaction that I'm providing right now if it was just them talking, right? Because I'm able to actually use technology, share a screen. I'm able to draw smiley faces, right? But more importantly, I'm able to identify and draw out what I'm talking about today. And let's face it, when you can combine visual aid, auditory aid, kinesthetic aid, engagement, interaction, live, guys, it brings your level of communication to the next level, okay? So you've got to leverage technology. So let's get into a little bit about more specifically what aspects of technology. Guys, you've got to be able to adapt to doing virtual sales, okay? And think about this. Virtual sales allows you to expand your territory. It allows you to leverage technology, and it allows you to leverage the reach of your technology, okay? Leveraging technology also allows you to interview people, right? Think about this. It allows you to interview candidates outside of your area that are looking for work because you're able to leverage technology, right? You're able to, look at this one, you're able to leverage technology when it comes to dispatching. Like, think, when you can dispatch your crews from their home how much more profitability are you going to have? How much of a better environment, a safer environment is that going to be for your current team? So now you're going to keep more A grade players. Coming back to the beginning, you're going to be able to interview more A grade players, right? Think about a virtual office. So instead of guys driving all the way to the office, right? The office, the office team, the field team, you can all be on the same call, okay? All talking about the same projects, all synergistic, all communicating at a much higher level. The calls can be recorded. There's so many things you can be using technology to go through blueprint with your team. You can be addressing problems and troubleshooting things with your clients via technology. Guys, you've got to leverage technology, right? And that brings me to the next thing, okay? Is let's look at this. So you notice that this here is helping each one of these, right? Right? That's going to allow you to really differentiate yourself beyond your competition when you can leverage technology, when you start to realize that you can land more A players, you can land more Class A clients, you can have a more efficient, more effective, higher level of communication company and team, including engaging with your suppliers virtually, leveraging technology. It's so much better, so much more efficient, okay? Which brings us to the next one. When you're able to leverage a virtual office, when you're able to dispatch your crews from their homes, okay? Maybe not every call, but guys, every little piece helps. Every little piece that you move forward with this, you're able to, go above and beyond your competition, right? Virtual sales, the prospect being able to get the support they need, the help that they need without you having to drive 30 minutes an hour, right? Or them coming to your office 30 minutes or an hour. And it's just beneficial for everybody. What this brings us to is the next area, which is, okay, lowering your overheads and upping, so increasing your what? Your profits, man, right? Everything I just talked about not only gives you the ability to land more A-grade clients, keep A-grade players, engage better with your suppliers and everything else I just talked about. It allows you to maybe reduce your office space, okay? It maybe allows you to not have such a high overhead. And think about whatever you pay every month is like fixed expenses, right? Those are every single dollar that you can save on that instantly goes into your pocket, instantly, okay? It's not like doing a job, okay, where you're putting 20 points, 30 points, 40 points on it, right? And you're getting a percentage of the sales. Every dollar that you save during this time is literally going into your pocket. And I really believe that, just like the vaccination, it makes those people with the vaccination that much stronger against the COVID virus. Every single one of these things I've covered off is going to make your business stronger and more resilient. If when you get through this and you can grow through this, what do you think is going to happen to you on the other side, okay? Again, we'll get more into that, but lowering your overheads means money in your pocket, okay? It is also, okay, without further ado, it is also the lowest interest rates for in decades ever. I think in the history of mankind, it is the lowest interest rates, whether you're in the States and Canada and most places in the world, lowest interest rates. And if you don't leverage this, guys, to renegotiate your loans, if you don't use this to renegotiate other aspects of your debts, I mean, you're crazy, man. Now is the time to leverage debt, because you're basically paying nothing for it, okay? I know it might sound like, okay, Andrew, that's something, that we're going to be doing or getting into. Guys, when you get this locked in for the next, say, 5 years, like, you're going to be able to benefit from that. And again, lowering interest rates is just like lowering your overheads. Every single penny, every single dollar, every $100, every $1,000, okay? That cascaded over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years is money literally in your pocket, okay? And if you're not leveraging that, I'm going to tell you, you're any of these things I've covered off, you're crazy, okay? And no offense, but I believe like you almost get what you deserve, right? So I said I'd cover off 5. I covered off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if we can go with a bonus 6. Okay, so let's go with number 6. It's one of the best times to renegotiate. Okay, your suppliers, they want your business more than ever. Okay, now don't forget they've also been able to leverage the previous topic I talked about, being lower interest rates. Okay, on their own debt. Okay, they've got a surplus of supply. They need to get this stuff off their shelves. Okay, I'm not saying that you need to increase your inventory. That might be an option. I'm always opposed to that's like the last option. Okay, but it is the greatest time for you to go back to your suppliers and renegotiate with them. Okay, especially if you can show to them that you're implementing any 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or all 5 of these strategies that we talked about. When you can lay out a game plan and give them some of the insights of where you're going and what you're doing and how you're looking at this, when you can go in with not rose-colored glasses, but a better picture of like how you're going to leverage this or how you are leveraging it or how you have leveraged it, these suppliers are going to want to help you succeed, right? They want more successful contractors. The bankruptcy rate that's going on right now is directly impacting them, okay? So the more that you can show to them that you're a company that's leveraging this business vaccination to become stronger, means that when you come, as you are going through this, let alone coming out of it, they're going to want to deal with you, okay? They're going to want to be able to negotiate and give you what you need so that you can succeed. So between A players, landing more A-grade clients, leveraging technology, lowering your overheads, leveraging the lowest interest rates of all times, renegotiating with your suppliers. Guys, this is the time, okay? This is going to be a time that you either look back at and go, that was a dramatic shift for us. That was a game changer, a couple of years for us in making this business become stronger. I really do believe that, even Profit for Contractors, guys, this is making us so much stronger, okay? It is highlighting, okay, I'm sort of going to wrap this up. It is highlighting the cracks that are in the business that I didn't see before. And I'm excited. Literally, I'm excited to see them. I'm not freaking out. I'm excited because it's allowing us to make this business stronger, okay? Back to beliefs. If you ever thought that there was no A players out there, it's a fact. There are, okay? If you ever thought that, you're not able to land, more A clients during this time, you're completely wrong. If your competition, which I know for a fact, 90% of contractors out there are not leveraging technology to make them, dominate their marketplace. And they're not leveraging technology to differentiate themselves. They're not leveraging the insights of what the client needs. They're not expanding their portfolio, so that they're offering up services that are needed during this time. Guys, you just leverage 1 or 2 of these technologies, okay, and you are going to land more A-grade clients, because the clients of today are not the same clients of the past, okay? Clients of today are looking for contractors because they have needs. They have essential services that are needed from you guys. And that, whether that's essential or not, whether it's commercial, whether it's industrial, whether it's larger projects, your clients are now, no matter what their age, are being forced to leverage technology. And so they're looking for, right? They don't want to go meet 20 freaking contractors face to face, right? I mean, there's actually laws against some of this stuff right now that, are forcing those prospects and customers to have to use technology, such that when you present it to them, they're going to be way more receptive to it, okay? So guys, there is, you know it and I know it. Are you really leveraging technology to get more A-grade clients? Are you really leveraging technology to get more A players? Be honest, look in the mirror, okay? Face the reality, and the odds are probably not, okay? looking at lowering your overheads. I mean, that all goes hand in hand with the technology. I mean, but are you creating an environment that allows your team members to leverage technology, which in turn allows you to lower your overheads? Maybe you need to downsize the size of building that you've got and become more streamlined. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Maybe this is going to force you to make those changes, like Doug and Rebecca. And I'm serious about this. I hope this lasts long enough to break some of these freaking limiting beliefs. Otherwise, guess what? The ones that change their limiting beliefs and change their approach to things are going to change their bottom line, are going to change the strength of their business. This is no different than, in the wild, where a disease comes through and only the strong survive. And those animals that survive, that disease that's gone through the herd, they prosper like crazy because there's so much more growth, there's so much more food out there. There's, they become stronger, they become almost invincible against the weak. Okay, it's the reality. Okay, lowest interest rates, guys, it's a fact. Okay, like, oh man, I'm really stretched. I can't make my payments and things of that nature. Well, then, guys, this is the time to leverage things like lower interest rates. And renegotiating with your suppliers. You know it, and I know it. Your suppliers want your business more than ever. And I really hope that, this podcast here today is going to be the beginning of you taking the action steps, the beginning of you looking at your business different, okay? You're either being forced right now, you're either pleading ignorance, okay? And not realizing that there's holes in your business that are jumping out in front of you. No matter how many people are tapping you on the shoulder, you're completely ignoring them. You're in denial, or you're looking at these things going like, this is reality. I need to use these opportunities and I need to make this business stronger. So if you want to get more help, guys, join the Contractor Tips group below. It's a free group. It's a group that's, can allow you guys to get the insights that you want. There's lots of complimentary free tools in there. It's a really good stepping stone for you to become part of a community. I think there's almost 8,000 contractors that are, actually, I think it's almost 9,000 contractors in there. And then we have the Champion CEO group, which is a separate group. It's a private group. And that's where we have business owners that are ready to leverage these insights with proven game plans, proven tools. Again, it's totally up to you. Whether or not you want to engage with us or not, that's fine. But if you're not going to, I'll be straight up with you. It's probably best you stop listening to these podcasts if you're not going to apply some of these things that I'm covering off, right? Don't use these podcasts as a form of procrastination, as a, let's increase my to-do list podcast. It's a no bullshit podcast, and I'm trying to bring no bullshit to you guys. And this is the brutal reality. Our clients are benefiting from all these areas. You can too in a very short period of time, but it's really in your hands. Okay. So are you going to get the business vaccination? Are you going to leapfrog the competition? Are you going to dominate your market? I don't know. I guess the question is, that's up to you. All right. We see you guys on the flip side. Hey, Rockstar, I hope that you enjoyed that one. I mean, if you did like this podcast, leave a review, leave a comment. This will help us a lot to keep you bringing the gold, allowing you to delegate, dominate, and deliver so you can take your contracting business to the next level. Now, make sure you subscribe, get the latest teachings and insights, and we will see you back here for another No Bullshit podcast. No, seriously, no bullshit.